Thank you for joining us as we continue the conversation behind the scenes here at the Hanover Theatre. This is Lisa Condit, and with me today is Meghan Patrick, our Director of Operations, as well as our Director of Education. Welcome, Meghan.
Thank you so much for having me on the show today.
You're welcome. And so Meghan does such a great job overseeing all of our volunteers. And we have just had a very special volunteer appreciation night that Meghan puts together. And Meghan, anything special or a shout out you want to give to our volunteers?
We're just grateful that we have so many people in the community that are willing to come into the theater at least twice a month to work our shows and take care of our patrons. It's our number one rating that we get on all of our surveys is the staff and the customer service, and that's because of our volunteers. So every year we try to honor them with a recognition night, and we had almost the full group. We have over 200 volunteers, and almost all of them came this past Wednesday night. We do a nice dinner and hand out prizes, and we did a little video montage this year, which was a lot of fun. So we have a great group to work with, and it's really impressive. Every time we have a merchandiser come in or different shows come in, they always make comments on how the staff at the theater really feels like a family and that everybody genuinely enjoys working together, which is impressive. So that's nice to hear from a show.
That is very nice to hear. So Meghan, what made the volunteers decide to take the garden, Federal Square, under their wing? And boy, they've done such a beautiful job maintaining that space.
Shortly after we opened, we knew that we were going to be maintaining the plaza out front. And so we had started soliciting volunteers to help with that maintenance. But when that group of volunteers got involved, they wanted to do more than just maintain the plaza. They really wanted to beautify that area. And so they started to get donations of plants. They even did fundraisers amongst their own volunteer group so that we could raise money to put cobblestones in to raise the flower beds. And it's really been impressive how they've been able to landscape the area and really make it an attractive place for people to come out and eat their lunch and enjoy the sunshine in the springtime. It's been unbelievable what they've done. And more recently, they were able to commission WBDC to paint the fountain. And that just happened a few weeks ago. So if you walk by the plaza, you'll see that it looks brand new again, and it's a really beautiful fountain that is our front yard. And so that's why we take care of it and maintain it, and those volunteers care so much about it. So the gardening volunteers sometimes get less recognition because you don't see them at all the shows with their name tags on, but they're out there every week for many hours a week between plantings, picking up trash or litter, and just weeding and watering. It takes a lot of maintenance to make that plaza look as beautiful as it does all year round.
It sure does, and I can vouch for you because I see them when I'm coming into work in the morning, and it always makes me feel so good, and it always amazes me how really, truly everybody that we work with, especially our volunteers, goes that extra mile. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what we're talking about,
Mm-hmm. Some of them are coming in, at 5, 6 in the morning as they're on their way into work. They'll stop in and, do a little maintenance and water the plants before the sun gets real hot. And, they're just very dedicated.
They make sure our garden grows, don't they, Meghan?
Absolutely, in many ways.
In many ways. And so there are other committees that your volunteers participate in. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those?
Sure. We have volunteers that work in the administrative offices and help, with getting mailings out and generating letters and all of these tasks that, take up so much time, and we need so many more hands to get done on a daily basis. We also have a social committee, which just started about a year ago, because this is a real fun group of people, and they love getting together, not just at the shows, but outside of the theater. And it kind of started with them, going out and spending time with each other after the events. And they decided, why don't we make this a formal thing, get everybody involved, give everyone the opportunity to go and make this a more social group. So in the past year, they've done field trips to the Newport Playhouse. They did a dinner theater there. They just went to that new restaurant on Shrewsbury Street, Seven Nana, to do a hibachi dinner. They're going to be doing a trip up to Agunquit this summer, actually, to go see Sally Struthers and Thoroughly Modern Millie. And there's, I think it's 30 volunteers that are going up for that. but there were, I think, 70 that did the hibachi night, and there were almost 100, I think, that did the Newport Playhouse. So a lot of the volunteers get involved in these events, and we actually did a Christmas event, a holiday event at the Elks Club in Auburn, because one of our volunteers is very involved there and is volunteering there as well. So we were able to set up a little dinner show at that venue as well. So it's nice for them to get out and socialize with each other. And we take lots of pictures, have lots of laughs, and it makes working at the theater that much more enjoyable to build those relationships.
Totally. And what a great community building opportunity, too. You know, it's definitely a nice group of people. And so, of course, people always want to join as a volunteer. And so that's probably one of the most frequently asked questions that I receive is when and how. So,
Sure.
Meghan, you're our woman. Tell us.
This is actually the perfect time of year. So we will take applications all year long. You can go onto our website, www.thehanovertheatre.org, and up on the top of the page, there's a tab that says Volunteer. If you click on that, you can find out all of the different opportunities that are available and what they entail, and you can also download our application. So fill out the application, send it in to us. Like I said, we collect them all year long, but the important thing to remember is we only do interviews in August every year, because we do an intense training specifically for our event volunteers. So it's really important that we get them on board at the beginning of the season, because we don't take people on in the middle of the season in order to maintain the customer service level that we're looking for. So if they're interested in volunteering, send in that application. We'll be making calls probably in July and August to set up those interviews, and then we do trainings in September, right as the season is getting ready to kick off. And we always have a large pool of applicants, and anytime you have questions, the website is a wonderful resource to get answers to all those different opportunities, and of course I'm always available to answer those as well.
And so is there anything in particular that you're really looking for in your volunteers?
When we go through the applications, we're always looking for individuals who have a strong customer service background, individuals who love the arts, because at the theater we are trying to really enrich lives through the performing arts. And so to have a volunteer staff who is passionate about the arts is only going to help that process when patrons come in and get excited about coming to see a show. So definitely a passion for the arts, availability obviously for nights and weekends, because that's when our shows mostly take place. And we're always looking for somebody who's outgoing and has a smile on their face. That's probably the biggest asset you can have is that smile on your face.
I love it. I love it. And so any age requirements? Do you need to be, say, 18?
You do need to be 18 or older, but that's it. That's the biggest requirement. You also have to have an email address. That's a big one for us, because we do have over 200 volunteers, and to keep in touch with them and to make everybody, to help everyone on the same page, we use email a lot, and it's very important for us to be able to use that line of communication. So an email address is required, and you have to be 18 or older to apply.
Okay, that's great. And so before we wrap it up, any updates you want to give people about our youth summer program?
Sure. Our youth summer program is going to be starting in July 8th. And we are going to be doing the classic Broadway musical, Oklahoma This Summer, the Rodgers and Hammerstein lovable musical. And we filled up for girls really quickly, but we do have just a few spots left for boys. So if anyone's interested, the program is for students ages 12 to 18, and you can register at any time.
That sounds really great. I know a certain 14-year-old girl who loves to do that program, so it's going to be fabulous. It's amazing to me how much you really, along with your music director and your choreographer, it's amazing to me how much ground you cover and how much these students learn in basically 2 weeks, because it's a 3-week program. They audition the first day. They learn the whole thing. They rehearse. You have your whole tech week going on, and then they're on stage for a weekend, and it's pretty impressive, I have to say.
That's right. They work very hard. We drive them pretty hard those 3 weeks.
I love it.
But it's well worth it, because they get up on that stage, and I think when they get to be in front of the audience for the first time, it really sets in that they're performing at a professional world-class performing arts center where many others before them have come and shared the stage. So it's a wonderful opportunity for teens in the area.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Megan, for taking the time today and talking to us about our volunteers and a little bit about the Youth Summer Program. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you soon at the theater.
Thank you so much.